Hello, good afternoon. Are you a member?
36 Mafia launched that $6 million lawsuit against Suicide Boys over samples. DJ Paul and Juicy J claimed that Suicide Boys have infringed on the copyrights of 35 different songs. Suicide Boys are a rap duo from New Orleans who are cousins. They both had rough childhoods and saw an escape in music.
Did you know that they was from New Orleans?
I didn't know they was cousins either.
Did they sound like they was from New Orleans? Then they decided to team up, and it's safe to say it worked. It took over the underground scene in mid-2015 with the help of Puya. Puya was already popping, but gave them the opportunity to collaborate on Southside Suicide. He said he saw a lot of potential in them.
2015 was when my life changed forever. I did a mixtape with the Suicide Boys. Yeah, we dropped that mixtape, and it just blew the fuck up.
This tape changed everyone's lives. It went viral, and everyone was talking about how crazy of a project it was. Suicide Boys had a whole new sound, and it stood out more than everyone else, especially at that time back in 2015. If you were around for that time, you know what I'm talking about. It was incredible. Throughout 2015 and 2016, the boys put out some incredible projects, such as Now the Moon's Rising, Dark Side of the Clouds, and Eternal Grey. They started touring, and it was incredible to see the fan interaction at their shows since they started popping. Ruby had a moment in 2015 on tour where he realized they were saving people's lives. Ruby said, I remember we played a show in Dallas in 2015. It was the first time we played a show to a crowd of people who were freaking out over the music. Later that night, we were selling our merch, and I'll never forget this kid coming up to the table. He told us that the new mixtape we dropped helped him through these tough times, like losing his mom to cancer a few months before. Our jaws fucking dropped. We didn't know what to say. That's when we realized Suicide Boys is an ironic name. We are saving people's lives. That was a huge moment for Ruby to see the impact he has on people. As time went on and they got more and more famous, the boys started struggling with drug issues. They were their entire lives, but it got worse, I would imagine, with the more money coming in and the more fame. It probably didn't help. Scrim said, my sobriety date is February 19th, 2019. Long story short, I finally got to a place where I wasn't able to talk to Ruby or my team. I was in psychosis for like 9 months because I was combining so many downers and uppers. I was literally out of my mind. Guys did the healthy thing and they got to the point where they pulled back from me. You know, it's hard to give motherfuckers like us consequences. Kyle told me at Thanksgiving in 2018 that he couldn't watch this anymore, and I still walked away. I said I'd get help.
Psychosis, bro.
Basically, I disappeared on him. Then I ended up isolated from everyone I loved. I got to the point of pain where it was unbearable, and that's when I started detoxing in a place in California. To maintain it, I've done a lot of therapy, and I'm in a couple 12-step programs that really helped me out. Now, Ruby had a big issue in 2020 with drugs as well. He says, I went to rehab the night of October 26, 2020. It happened after we had a team meeting at Scrim's house, and I kept going in the bathroom and snorting shit. Eventually, I took so much I was fucking falling asleep on them in the meeting. Then they had an intervention. I was kicking, fighting, and cursing them out. I said I'd never talk to them again. Then I did go, and it was one of the best experiences of my life. It made me realize I had my head so far up my own ass. I thought I knew everything. I've been trying to rebel my whole life because I hated myself so much. To clarify, I'm not fully sober, but I don't do any opiates or hard shit anymore. I still smoke weed.
So what do you have to do to help him?
He just really, gave me my space and supported me.
Look, the thing that I told him is that I'm never going to judge you for it.
Nah, I'm not mad. I'm locked in.
I just don't want you to lie to me.
Right.
And I gave you your
chance. I was trying to read the script.
When you're an addict and you're in that position, right? You know, people say, oh, just be upfront with me. But that's very hard. It's very hard.
He would cry. Like,
it's very hard.
Because at one point I was like, well, I'm your fucking cousin. You've known me for life. Why can't you just be honest with me? And he would cry, being like, because even though
I don't want to hurt him.
All right, boys, this video is sponsored by Geology. Face work root creams, $50. Ruby says at 25th description right now, go take full control of your skin routine. All right, back to the video, guys. Rewinding back to 2015, one of their most popular songs called Low-Key actually has a crazy story behind it. Ruby says, I think our music has a lot of substance to it. I remember this one day when we were recording a new song and we actually both relapsed on heroin that day. We wrote the song Low-Key. We looked at each other and said, let's write something real today. I think that's when Suicide Boys really started to speak to what our fans were going through, especially with drugs, anxiety, and depression. We all know those things exist and people act like they want to help, but they don't ever do anything. That's why I hate mental health awareness sometimes. You can't just make everyone aware. We hope we can do more than that with our music. There's a lot of moments where Ruby realized the impact they had on people and the cult fan base they were forming around depression, drugs, and anxiety. It's a huge problem in today's world. But what it did is it built a strong connection between the boys and their fans. More than majority of artists could ever build. And honestly, it's very rare for mainstream artists to ever talk about drugs or depression, anxiety. They try to keep everything positive, but the boys do the exact opposite, and they try to shine light on the problem. And I think that's a giant reason how they have such a cult fan base right now. In the summer of 2016, they released Radical Suicide. It was the first time they got on the charts. The 5-track EP produced by Getter peaked at number 17 on the Billboard rap charts.
Oh,
This was a whole new level for an underground artist. It's very hard to get on the Billboard rap charts, and they did it in 2016.
Shout
Throughout
out to your
2017, they put out a
moms.
few singles. They started recording their album. They said they initially wanted to write about our experiences on the road and express how our lives have become slightly more extravagant. On September 7, 2018, their debut album, I Want to Die in New Orleans, was released. It was their first
Oh,
big commercial
did we hear
album,
that
and it
song?
put them on a whole new level
It's an
compared to other
album.
people in their genre. Their fans were desperate for the
Oh, the
album,
name of the
considering
album
it
was
was
I Want
over
to Die
a
in
year
New
since they'd
Orleans?
released anything else. And so this was a very, very hyped up moment. I think what attracted people the most to them, besides their music, was their strange image. No one had music videos like these guys besides maybe Bones, but their music videos leveled them up so much more than people realize. Ruby's lyrical abilities are extremely underrated as well. He has some of the craziest bars and flows possible. And we all know Scrim's voice was very captivating at first, considering it sounds like a dead person is talking. They actually just put out their first music video in the last like 4 or 5 years last week. So it's a whole new era for the boys to be putting on music videos, and I'm so fucking excited
seen
for
that
it.
one.
I hope they continue to do that. Last year when they were touring in 2021, I went to their show and I asked Ruby why they stopped making music videos. And he said he hated cameras and didn't want to do it, which would probably explain why he has a shiesty mask on covering his face in the video now. I would imagine it's going to be like that for a lot of videos, if I were to guess. In 2020, some sketchy shit happened. 36 Mafia launched that $6 million lawsuit against Suicide Boys over samples. DJ Paul and Juicy J claimed that Suicide Boys have infringed on the copyrights of
What I told
35
you.
different songs. Suicide Boys also claimed that Juicy J verbally agreed to clear the samples as an exchange for the group's work on the Juicy J mixtapes.
But then, at the same time, one of their own inside guys sent me a list of maybe 40 songs that they sampled me on, with 40 million views here, 50 there. And then on top of that, they bring out a Capitol Records album that's a straight remake of one of my songs off one of my last albums, with me in it. Start off with me in it.
This was a weird lawsuit. I made a video about this back in the day. I was confused because Juicy J and Suicide Boys were friends and they worked a lot. They were suing them, and I think it was all because the DJ Paul was just wanted bread for it. The boys didn't clear any of these samples. It is really illegal to do this. They had troubles in the past with Deadmau5, the producer as well, for Antarctica. That song got taken down, and that was a fan favorite.
The Suicide
They
Boys,
fucked
a
up.
rap band from Atlanta, literally verbatim took a song of mine and rapped on it and then put it out. Now, all we did was send a C&D, which is common, saying,
Don't use my
while
phone.
we appreciate your effort, I would prefer you not to monetize my work and take it off, right?
That was a huge song back in 2016, 2017 era. That song got taken down for like 4 or 5 years. And you
Thank
could only
you,
find it
Cam.
on YouTube. They ended up settling this lawsuit with the 36 Mafia guys, but it never says how much they had to pay them or any deal they did behind the scenes. In 2021, the boys truly leveled up. They signed a strong 8-figure deal with the Orchard, while headlining a U.S. tour that sold almost 500,000 tickets. Yes, you heard me correctly. The boys
500,000
signed
tickets?
An 8-figure
That's a whole
deal
fucking arena.
and sold 500,000 tickets on one tour. All this following the release of their album Long-Term Effects of Suffering.
That's a lot of tickets.
This was a whole new level. I think the reason why they leveled up so much was partly because of COVID, and a lot of people started listening to their music in COVID and from TikTok. In November of 2021, the boys finally got their first platinum single. For the song And To Those I Love, Thanks for Sticking Around reached 1 million sales. The song has gone viral on TikTok throughout 2021, which if you know Scrim and Ruby, they probably didn't like that. TikTok finally got a hold of one of their songs. But in the end, they made so much fucking money off this one song. I can't even imagine. Considering the boys have remained in distribution deals and not normal record deals, they make all the money off their streams. Maybe 20% or something goes to the label. Probably 10% actually, and then their manager probably gets a little cut too. Their streaming numbers are absolutely insane. Boys, listen up. In 2020 and 2020 alone, they surpassed over 1 billion streams on Spotify, which equates to $4 to $5 million a year only on Spotify. And that's just a rough estimate.
boys
If I were to
got
guess,
money.
on all platforms, they're making around $10 million a year off streams.
They hitting
another
Katy
2 to 3
Perry
million
type
off
of
merch,
streams, bro.
and another 2 to 3 million off tour. These are all obviously rough estimates, but that's just
I
my
think
guess.
Katy
It could be
Perry
way
doing
more, it could be a little bit less. My guess is the boys are making around 10 to 15 million
that
dollars
shit's
a
at a
year.
billion.
the past
I feel
2 to
like
3
they
years.
probably
Although
make more
2022
music.
will be their biggest year by far because they're doing a small arena tour. They're selling out merch. They put out a new album
Bro, I
last
got no
week. Their
photos
hype
on
is on a
this
whole
one.
nother level. I feel like every time I'm on TikTok and shit and scrolling, I see a video of them performing live and it has hundreds of thousands of likes. I know they probably hate it, but TikTok has helped them a lot in my opinion. Them as a brand, if I were to guess, they're worth at least $20 million as a brand, but it could be 30 or 40 million in the next 2-3 years, boys. At this rate especially. They keep doing arena tours, putting out an album once a year, and just grinding, them as a brand, they're worth at least $20 million. And looking back at what they were in 2015, it's astounding at how big they've gotten in the last 7 years.
If you're in the YouTube chat, slide to the Twitch chat right now, man. We prioritize the Twitch chat.
Never thought that they could be that big. I thought they would be very successful. But selling out arenas, it makes me, I'm speechless looking at the new live footage of them. They're probably selling 7,000 to 10,000 kids a night. It's fucking unreal. I can't even put into words. I low-key feel proud because I've been a fan of them for so long, and I've met them, and I know how genuine of people they are. Like, they're some of the most genuine guys I've ever met. They talked to me for 2 hours straight. Scrim showed me the full album back in 2017, and they were just so fucking genuine. And these are the type of people that actually deserve to be famous. Just don't give a fuck what anyone thinks, and they do their own thing, and they're nice to everyone. Yeah, I'm just proud of the boys. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, follow me on Twitter and Instagram.
Shout out Suicide Boys. So, learning more about them, what type of view do you have on them now?
Saying it makes sense of what they do. They from New Orleans, and the only good thing too is like I didn't know they was cousins, and they met the other guy, so that's dope. That is fire. But I didn't even New Orleans. They don't sound like they from New Orleans. Maybe because I didn't hear them talk. Did they talk at all just now? Or just clips of them doing shit?
I don't think so. I think it was clips.
Yeah, I gotta hear them talk. They music, I told you, sound like it's inspired by Bone Thugs and Harmony and 3 6 Mafia and them. Did I say that?
Make sure you sub before you go shopping. Make sure you sub up, man. Our sub goal is almost hit, man.
Damn, what time is it to be shopping this late? Well, it might be early for them.
Want y'all motherfuckers to subscribe to ForeignTooBusy. Don't give a fuck. Better subscribe, motherfucker. If not, security gonna get your ass. Pop, pop.